Thank you so incredibly much, everyone, for joining us on another episode of Starseed Activations. So welcome. We have our little Starseed Oracle cards. I don't know if you guys can see. So we're just going to pull a card while we wait for everybody to enter. Wonderful. Okay. I gotta make this crooked. Okay, awesome. Let's just see. Welcome, Instagram. Everybody? Okay. Let's see. Okay. The cards are sticky. They're not sticky. They're just stuck together. Okay, so let's see. The card that we pulled was called Earthed. And so it's learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. This card is beautiful for today. Look at the picture on there. Right? It kind of reminds me of a star seed. Right? And so it's a little person and they're in a crystal. And so that little person inside the little crystal here, they come all the way down. Now, what is a crystal? When we're in our 5D bodies, we're more crystallized in our nature. Certain monks who do different meditations, they can coax or pull down the source frequency, which is bliss and love and joy. It's kind of like the heavens or hugging an angel is what the star people always call it. And so when you pull down that emotion, it crystallizes your actual physical heart. So when your actual heart crystallizes, it makes a little like a rock or a stone or a crystal inside the heart, which after they go through the process of cremation, after the monk is no longer with us, we can start to pull these stones out. It's also known as a Sintamanized stone. And so there was one time the star people told me to get the Sintamanized stone. But they didn't tell me to get it. They just kept playing the word in my head and saying it over and over and over again. And I was like, what is that? And so I Googled and it turned out to be a meteorite. So I went like anybody would do. I went on Amazon. I got one for myself and I figured I was supposed to work with it. The second that the meteorite came, I started working with it. Then my starman was like, that's not what it is. He was like, the Sintamanized stone is inside your heart. And so when it's inside your heart, then you have to, he said, your job is to give it more love. And so when I had done the research on it, I thought that the Sintamanized stone was to send wishes out. So of course I have a list, right? And so I want the ocean clean. I want the planet clean. I want peace for everyone. I want everyone to be fed, all this stuff. And so what I would do is I would sit there and he's like, you have to just add love to it. And so when we throw love, when we cast love, we're supposed to cast it inside of our heart and we're supposed to cast it to the outside of us. So we say things like, thank you for this beautiful, sunshiny, warm day. So even if it's crummy outside, you still say it because it's going to send an energy. We're casting that love into the environment. So it's the same exact procedure as talking to a tree. And so talking to a tree can make the tree grow 10 times its size. It can make the leaves grow. It's amazing. And so if we have that type of power that we can sit around and we can talk to a plant and we can get the plant to grow much bigger, right? So what happens when we throw love into a person? And so the more and more love that we support each other with, and it's 333 on the video setting, right? Isn't talking about this. But the more love that we can send to a person, they can heal all sorts of diseases, all sorts. We've even had people with autism get fully healed, mostly fully healed, and live a normal human life just because their parents casted so much love at them. So, and this is why we hear love will heal all wounds. So we do have a couple different questions. Today is a short live because I do have a session after. But I wanted to do a 4 o'clock. This way, my overseas people, it's not midnight for them. So I hope Fabio's here. He's like my number one go-to for the overseas. Okay, so the first question we had today. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Melina. Welcome, welcome. So the first question that we're going to do is somebody asked me in the new messaging system that we have in place. So we opened up a Facebook Messenger group. It's called Star People Group. And so you have to be in the actual group on Facebook. We realized afterwards. Once you're in that group, we can add you into the messaging side. This way you guys can send me questions. I'm not too good at reading the comments in the now moment because it's too much. It's too flickery for me. So, but they sent me a question in the new message group. We also have a WhatsApp group. So we're trying out new things just to see how it flows. So the question that came up, somebody asked, what is significant about this area in the top of your head. And so they said it was right above the forehead on the scalp. And she felt like there was like I don't know if I could use that word. It was like a lot of energy rushing through that chakra. So that is actually a chakra. There's a bunch of different chakras inside the head that we're going to dive into right now. So the first one, we know the pineal gland. So this chakra, we see it as coming out the front, but it actually comes out the back as well. So that's a primary one. That's a big one. You can feel the energy. Now, most of the times, because we haven't really utilized the chakras, they kind of make a fluff ball. And so what we want to do is we want to put our right hand, and then we want to pull it out, and we want to make it straight. Is it this way? It's the left hand forward, the star people are saying. So when you do this, there's a positive and a negative polarity in both of your hands. And so the chakras are a certain way. So there's in the temples, there's another set of chakras. So we pull them out. You can feel them. So you pull them out and then you feel it like this. And they should be going tap, 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 tap. A lot of times they go tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. So we want to make sure that they're pulsing correctly. So after you pull it out, some people can even feel it snap into place. And so you'll feel the tube snap from like a cloud and snap into a tubule. And then you just make sure it's pitter-pattering correctly at one pace. So you do this one, the third eye one, then you do the temples. Now, what she felt was the unicorn one, whatever name you want to call it. It's like where the unicorn's heart would go. It goes here, and then it comes into the back of the neck. And so that one too, the left hand goes forward, the right hand goes to the back, pull it out and feel it. You could do this on other people as well. Your left hand should always go to the front and the left. Okay. And then when you start to do this, there's another one that goes through the chin, because your chin has a chakra there and it goes to the top of the head. Now, if you look at the boys, how the boys have that type of vortex in the back of their head, and the girls who shave their hair, you could see a vortex. That's a chakra. And that, not only that, that chakra is a very prominent chakra because it connects into a tubule, which is giving you ether and connecting you to your higher self. So these chakras, it's kind of like two X's, right? So you have one that goes like this through the pineal, but then you have one that goes like this, and that's the unicorn chakras there. And then it's kind of like, it's two X's. So we're looking at least 8 chakras. Those 8 chakras plug into the personality grid complex, the star people are saying. And when we start to do work on that, your dreams could potentially expand. And so a lot of people who have the dream walker abilities, which is when you're able to go into a meditation state or a dream, wake yourself up and become lucid in the dream. And then all of a sudden, what you can do is you can control the dream. So the dreams actually tune into your subconscious mind. So when you're in the middle of a dream, you can actually reprogram the dream, change it. And then when you open your eyes in the morning, you're going to start to see the reflections of whatever you were dreaming about happening in real time in your real life. So absolutely amazing gift. Now, the star people have told me multiple times, they usually have 3 primary people on their planet who go into the dream states, and they constantly do this for the entire civilization. But it's like they know of 3, but there's more and more people. Each it could be like an individual thing. Like, just imagine us on this video, right? If we just really quick did a meditation for world peace, right? So we're taking it into our own hands to manifest something for the entire planet. So on their planet, they have different people doing the same exact thing. Because let's face it, if you have the ability to drop into a dream and become lucid and make changes, you could change the entire civilization and bring peace. Who wouldn't want to have 3 people doing that? Do we all have the dream walker gifts? Yes, but a lot of times our blockages stop us from doing it. Anyone smoking marijuana, it actually impacts the dreams. So you may want to have a look at whatever plants you're engaging with. Not that I'm telling you guys that anything is good or bad. It is what it is. Everything has a frequency range, including the water that you drink. And so this is why we're taught to bless the food. Now, blessing the food, sure, we could do it once. Yes, it does have an effect at the subatomic levels. But if you took that water and you had 10 people bless it, and you had them bless it every single day for a month, the power and the vortex in that blessed month water is going to be much stronger than us saying one little prayer over it one time. right? The more focus, the more love you cast in an item, the higher the frequency works. So when you start to interact with different plants, different substances, different waters, different everything, and it can even be a location code. So let's say, for an example, you're putting yourself in a toxic location. That toxicity washes over your energetics. You may not feel it on your body. Sometimes you may feel yucky when you're in a really like low vibe environment and you've got to go right home and take a shower, right? That's because it didn't resonate. It didn't feel good. So pay attention and just make a checklist, right? What are you guys interacting with? Is everything organic, healthy, fresh, right? Eating plants or eating meat? You know, we each and every one of us has to go through our own checklist. So as far as the meat thing goes too, some people who stop eating meat get sick. Right. So it depends on your belief systems. It depends on how your body is structured. And it depends on if you're actually capable of handling. Right. It all depends. Some people go on a carnivore diet and then they heal diseases. So, you know, as far as that goes, it's kind of like, well, what's right and what's wrong? Nothing, because it's all a hologram. It's all about your personal belief systems and how you make yourself feel. So when we take a look at things like the placebo effect, a sugar pill can cure you. That's the bottom line. The pharmaceutical companies know this. They know if they make the pill look blue, it's going to work better. They know if the name of the pill is so complicated that we can't say it, it's going to work better. They have all the statistics on this. They see because they see how we respond when we take this medicine. So if they are using the placebo effect to help and heal us or not help and heal us, right? So it just makes us ask questions. How can we start to do the same exact thing? How can we placebo affect ourselves so that we can start receiving our own benefit? So you can do this by either going into your dreams, becoming lucid, and programming your subconscious mind. You could do it in a meditation state. You can drop in. You could do automatic writing as you are writing in a meditation state. Write down things like, I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. Today is the best day ever. I do this one all the time. And it's constant with me. Today is the best day ever. And it's even if we are having a crummy day, it does not matter. It really doesn't matter because you're affirming today is the best day ever. And so you could spill your coffee, right? You could have to bend over in front of 100 people and clean it all up. And yeah, you could allow that experience to ruin your day. Everybody has the right to, you know, allow it to ruin their day. But the second that you start whistling the song, right, and spreading your love and light while you're cleaning the floor, and then all of a sudden other people come in and they want to help you because they see that you're a happy, positive person. Now you didn't let the negative things impact your day. So what you just did was you leveled up. So we go through these and they're tiny little victories. It's every microsecond that we're in this world, we have the potential to have tiny little micro victories. And so it's that choice to do the right thing for your body, for your mind, and for your spirit. So what is it that makes you guys happy and excited and joyful? That's that tiny micro moment is what you want to follow. So if in this moment, it could make you feel happy to give yourself a high five and say, I'm my own cheerleader. I'm having the best day ever. Take it. Take the win for the team, right? Go Team Star people. That's what we're going to call it. And so we're going to try your hardest. And it's not that life isn't going to throw things at you because life is designed to throw things at you to trigger you. It really is. But the thing is that how are you going to overcome them? And so you can let it get to you. You can let it crush your spirit, or you can pick yourself up. You could dust yourself off and you could say, I'm not today, universe. I say that one all the time too, right? Not today, universe. You're not going to get to me. My power, my willpower, my emotions are stronger than you. And so then I keep going. Yeah, humming and singing. I used to have a pizza shop guy who he always used to sing. And this is when we were in high school. So we would come in and he would be sitting there watching the TV and he would start singing a song. And he was doing it just to be a smart guy and to see how many people would sing with him. And it was funny because every time he did it, we all started singing with him. So that's how powerful this is. When you start shining your positivity, and he attracted all the kids, all the neighborhood kids would go into the pizzeria just to make his pizza boxes. Right? When we turned into later, and we used to drink with him too. So much fun where I grew up. Okay, so let's take a sip. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we do want to dive into different types of attachments. Many of you guys have had questions, right? Can we have perception attachments? So perceptual attachments are the same thing as you have to wear glasses. So think about it this way. And this is one that I'm still doing myself, right? So we're all in the process of healing. Now, a perception is, how do you see the world? Can you see without your glasses? Why is it distorted? Because if you can't see and you're not in 100% health, that means that you're holding on to a distortion. And so what you have to do is you have to throw the attachments off first, because a lot of times the attachments will make you go bald. They'll make you go blind. They'll make you lose your voice. A lot of people with attachments in the throat, they start talking really, really deep, right? That's an attachment in there. The attachment messes it up, but the truth of the matter is there had to be a door open for that attachment to latch on. And so when we go through, we start to clear these things off of us, it makes us feel better. But you also have to watch out for any behavior patterns. So what behavior patterns was this attachment triggering you to do? You have to clear those behavior patterns out. Otherwise, it opens the door for more of that attachment to latch back on. So they go hand in hand. Behavior patterns, attachments, and emotions. All three things, you got to dive into all of them. So there are mirror attachments. Many times, and you could see some of the attachments, the perception ones, not to go back and forth, but the perception ones, I've cleared some nasty ones off of people. And like, I've walked past the mirror and I did a double take. Like, what the hell was that? Right? Because you could see the attachment's name. And so right away it was like, getting a saltwater bath, right? We got to clear it. And so, but it's serious. And like, sometimes, like, just imagine that you're seeing like an old person who's like very stressed out. You can see the anger on their face. That's actually an attachment. And so different attachments, they make your face change. Now, a lot of times when I do the channeling, when I'm channeling like the Magdalene Collective, right? And so my whole face changes. What is it that we're doing is we are embodying or allowing a different frequency in. The attachments are at a low frequency. The Magdalene Collective is at a very, very high frequency. And so that's what we want to shoot for. We want to be pulling down the higher frequencies, because this is why we're on the planet. The starseeds all came here to pull down the higher frequencies and shine that light into all humanity and into Mother Earth. So when we start to do work like that, you can tell when someone is channeling a super high frequency too, because their joy and excitement gets really, really, it's like a high frequency. So you could feel it right away. And you get magnetized to people like that. It goes right hand in hand with being charismatic. So like people who are naturally charismatic, they walk into a room and they make an impact in the room and everyone looks at them because they can feel the magnetism coming off of the person. It's wild, but this is the way it works. So we also want to be taking note to the fact that your physical body, it's a magnet. And so what it's going to do is it's going to project your energy as far or as wide as you want it to be. And so you have a positive, you have a negative is under your feet. Just keep it simple. It's just like that. Now, just imagine for 1 second that you can expand your energetic grids. And so by doing this, by going into meditation, you have to go into the heart. You have to want to help people. You have to want to heal the planet, help heal people, right? So we start doing things like mantras or manifestations. And so thank you, energetic grid structure, for healing any and all people who come into contact with my energy. I've done that so many times, I couldn't even count. And then one day I realized it worked. I walked into a spiritual shop. Everyone was meditating and they could all feel me as I walked through the room. They all had their eyes closed. I was tiptoeing with socks. So they didn't hear me, but they felt the entire room shift. And so that's how powerful this is when you start to place focus on your own energetics. Your energetics can become larger and they can shrink down. So this happens especially when the fight or flight systems become activated. So anyone who goes into fight or flight, a lot of times they go into isolation. So they spend time alone. And so they may feel crummy about themselves. And so they may shrink in size in the energetic grids. That happens. It's okay. And so sometimes when people spend too much time alone and you know them, you should just try and get them out of the house, because that house is not healthy for them to be in. Because when you pull them out of the house, at least they're in nature. Their aura field or their energetics can tune into other energies that's not inside the house where they're all depressed. So, and that's also another thing about healing depression. You guys should definitely be going into nature, grounding to the earth. If you can go to a beach, that's wonderful. Channeling the Magdalene frequency. Tell us more about this. Sometimes when the government guy comes in, and like you had at the beginning, I used to panic inside of myself. And so you guys had no idea, but inside of me, my heart was racing. I was like, oh God, he's here. right? And then the way the star people would do it, they would just raise my frequency. And so then all of a sudden it was like getting flooded with love and bliss. And then a very, very high frequency feminine energetic would wash over my entire body. And then I would hear, I'm the Magdalene, or the name Magdalene would come through. And then all of a sudden it felt like the Magdalene Collective is like a very feminine, loving, caring, kind. Feels like a nun is hugging you, but it's many, many nuns. It's not just one. And it's like a nice nun. It's not the ones that used to hit us with the rulers. It's like, imagine like a spiritual angel type of, right? And so I think that they are connected to like Mother Mary or something. Not really too sure. I just know Magdalene. Who gives the government man the assignment to govern? Who knows? I haven't asked this guy any questions. I just know I saw him once. I saw he had like a logo on his boots and he looked like a regular human. And I feel him when he's here because I sense him. So I've only seen him once, but I've seen he turned my microphone off. He turned Allie's microphone off. Yeah, he's done. There's been too much stuff that he's done. The one day he hit me and Allie, because in the beginning we both used to go on the video together. He hit both of us with some type of frequency device that lowered the frequency. And at the same time, I got scared. I threw myself on the floor on a live video. I would never do that, right? And so as I'm doing this, Allie is having an argument with her husband at the time. And so it was just pure chaos. And then poor Tina, who was just the host of the video, and she got left hanging. And so she was the only one out of all three of us on the video. It was classic. It was just a priceless moment. But yeah, he shut my microphone off. So I call Allie. I'm like, Allie, put the phone up to the computer so you can hear me that way. And so the second that she put the phone up to the computer, they did her microphone. That was a wrap. We had to shut down the video. So like when you have experiences like that, it's kind of like there's no denying that there's a government man, right? And so, but I also I shot off a fear. Me and the star people were doing a fear clearing of a fear that I have. I felt my chi energetics go very far. It was hot. It was like your body heat fires up, but you're not sweating, but you feel it like radiating off you. And then they sent I'm assuming, but there was a helicopter that circled my house, and it took them like a minute to get here too. It was quick. So it makes me think that whatever is happening, they know. They just know, and they could be here in 2 seconds. So that man usually knows the second I turn on the live. A lot of times I feel him here. Sometimes I don't. So it just depends. I've actually had bruises show up too. So right now, currently, I don't know if it was from the past 2 lives, but I did the live, and then the next morning I woke up with like a massive bruise. So I do not know what's going on. It is what it is, right? We keep shining our light and love, though, and we don't give in to the fear, because there's nothing to fear but fear itself. So that's it. If I could sit here and I could do this and I can hold no fear, you guys can do it too. I'm not scared, right? And there's some things more important too, because this planet needs to be changed. And so by shining your light and love and connecting into the source frequency, there's a divine protection that washes over you. So the second that you do become scared, just think to yourself, why does the TV and the government and all this stuff, why do they want us to be in fear? Because if we're in fear, we're not in love. And so love saves us. Love protects us. And I hate to be one of those people who's like preaching all this love stuff, but it's so true. Because the second that you tune into the source frequency, it's love, it's bliss, and it's emotion of like heaven. But the second that you learn how to coax down that emotion into your body, it puts you in a divine protection, so nothing can touch you. And so I've seen karmic backlashes come to people who mess with me. Of course, this is not my will, because I send everybody love and light now, but I still see it. I see it happen to people. Yeah. Does he know if he carries a fear energy? I'm just assuming that he's carrying some sort of technology, because I can feel him pulsing different meridians. And like, I'm very intimate with the meridians after doing the attachment clearing with the star people. And so I can feel which meridian it goes through your head. You could feel they pulled on it like it was a grid. And so it made it so like I could feel the entire line going down. When the government guy is here, he hits certain meridians and I could feel it going down my whole body. So I know for a fact exactly what he's doing. And I feel it inside my head. Like I'll feel the frequency hit my head. So a lot of times on the old videos, you'll see me like looking up, right? That's because I feel him touching in. Yeah, I'm not scared, right? And so I was in the beginning, I'm not going to lie. It was kind of like, oh, man, someone's in my house, right? How did he get in my house? He ran down my hallway. So it was quite alarming in the beginning. But now I'm like, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah. And I get into the saltwater bath, right? And I lose positivity. I always say there's always rainbows and butterflies where I am. And so, but it's true because even if you're scared of something, right? Like the star people always say, you're scared of your own shadow. And so when you're scared of your own shadow, what does that mean? The darkness in this reality, it is our shadow. So there has to be something inside of me that is allowing the experience to fully manifest. And so I don't know what it is because I'm really not scared. But I mean, of course, a part of me, I started out by learning the conspiracy. And that, it terrified the heck out of me. And it was for a while, right? I walked around like, they're poisoning us. I was telling people in BJ's Wholesale Club, don't eat the food. And so, you know, for a while, it took me a while to like, oh, okay, wait a minute, we're divine. I had to learn the spiritual. The star people came in, they had to teach me the basics, right? But I'm not going to lie, it was quite scary to know that. And a part of me was like, we got to put flyers up. We have to stock up on ammunition, right? So there's a war coming. Like that's the real fear and panic that was inside of mine. So can you imagine all the people and all the starseeds we know, because we see people walking around who are all physically focused and they have no clue what's actually happening here. They don't know about the spiritual war. They don't know about the physical war, but that's okay too. The star people said it's okay. And so when they go through their evolution process, then all of a sudden it's going to clear all of the energy and they may not know about the conspiracy. So they may evolve into 5D without knowing any of the conspiracy. So at that point, I was like, what do you mean? That sounds crazy. How are they not going to know? Right? Because some people just aren't going to know. What they're going to do is they're going to be love and light. And so we see this too. We see people on this planet who are very, very sweet and sensitive and like, you just like, wait, how are you like that? Right? You're just so sweet and kind and nice and polite, and they don't curse and they speak very, very softly when they talk, and they just want to hug everybody. Right? There's people like that in the world. Do you think those people are going to go through fear and panic? No, because they're going to be busy helping the people that they're already helping. So those people, maybe they work in like a food kitchen. Maybe they're serving children or fostering children. Who knows? Right? And so those people, they're not really going to know of the great conspiracy and all this nonsense. So what the star people said is the people who know are meant to know, because when we see the problem, it starts our reaction solution. And so what I saw the problem, and then all of a sudden I manifested my solution. The solution was, oh, okay, we're spiritual beings and we're more than anything that you see in the world. Any of it, even no matter how toxic or low frequency or any nonsense it is, we are more powerful, because when we control our internal circumstances, which is our frequency, we control that, it radiates into the outside world, and then we can basically control what we say. And so this goes right back into the dream walker ability. So the dream walkers, they have this ability to change the dream that they are dreaming, which then in turn reflects into the real world. Who is to say what the real world is? Is this the real world, or is this a dream? Is the dream, or is the dream the real world? How do you know? We don't. To be scientifically correct, we don't know what's what. We don't know if heaven is the real world. Maybe 5D is the real world. Maybe we haven't even left 5D. Maybe a fractal of our soul or essence dropped into 3D, because this is like a playground and this is where we have fun and experience things, right? Maybe this is a simulation and we're on an extraterrestrial spaceship and we're all in stasis pods and plugged supercomputer experiencing this together as one. Who knows what is real? Now, we have computers on this planet right now that you can plug yourself into, and you would not know the difference between the computer simulation and the real world. This is done with brainwave reading technology. So we always say brainwave reading, meaning it's reading your brainwaves. Nobody ever talks about brainwave pushing technology. And so your TVs, your cell phones, it has brainwave pushing technology in it. Your TV, And this is even if the TV is unplugged, which how scary is this? But the TV can actually send a signal to your brainwaves and tell you to turn the TV on. Everyone in the room at the same time, your brainwave will hear it because it's like a sonic frequency the star people are saying, which triggers you to have the thought, oh, I should turn on the TV. And you just think it's your own thought. This is also how telepathy works, guys, because my starman, when he has conversations with me, he is pushing the thoughts into my head. I welcome it because then I push my thoughts out. I speak to him. So then he's got to take the time to listen to me speak it, right? But half the times he can hear the brainwaves before I even speak. So it's like, it really is taking double time to just allow me to express the way I express. But he speaks very rapidly. And so by having these conversations with him, it's actually increased the way I speak because it's always like, we got to hurry up because they are a step ahead, right? And so this is what it is to talk to extraterrestrials. In time, humanity is going to start unlocking their full-blown telepathic abilities. So right now, I want each and every one of you guys watching to take a deep breath in. And release. I'm writing down a color on my page right here. And so at the count of 3, I am going to telepathically send you the color that I am thinking. Each and every one of you guys, I want you just to hold it in your mind and see and sense what color I'm sending you. This is how you know if your telepathy has already been activated. So mine is very strong. I can send it. So, okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Who got the color red? Anybody? Oh, see? Facebook user red? Look. Red. See it? That's how you know your telepathy has been activated. Very good. So, I'm sorry, guys. Whoever got red, you got it right. So, when we start to play games like this, then all of a sudden it allows us to get more accurate. And so, very good, Heather. You got red too. But, you know, when I closed my eyes, I kind of saw orange, but I was thinking red. Oh, see? Oh, yeah, you saw it even before you counted. Time space is not real. So you can, a lot of times, and the way the telepathic works or telepathy works, it's like the thoughts are out here and they are magnetically being drawn into your mind. And so he's like, I can't sense the thoughts out here yet on my own. A little bit I can, not a lot, but I can sense when the thought is coming. And if it's a really negative thought, they'll correct me. And so to them, they're like, your magnetism is magnetically drawing these thoughts into your mind. And so you have to shift your magnetism in the now moment. So if something is coming at you, they can sense it out here before it actually reads inside the brainwave pattern. Think about it as an electrical impulse. Think about it as our frequency is manifesting or attracting a frequency of brainwave patternings. So, no, I didn't even think of pink. Yeah. But that's really good, though. A lot of you guys will get red. A lot of you guys, it's already been activated. Now, I had Starman, actually, Allie's daughter was, we were doing this with Allie's child. And then she kept thinking of, and then he got every single color right. So she would think the color, and then Starman was telling me, and in my head, I was like, please get the color right. But every single color he got right for her. So it's like they can sense. Not only that, but there's, no, I'm not going to say it. It's okay. That's just the way it works. So a lot of times when we know that this is how the telepathy works, it's like it allows us to tune into it. Now, you guys can even do it with a deck of oracle cards. You could do it with a deck of regular cards. And so the government has those cards with like the wave, the star, all this stuff. And so you can get those cards and you could just try and just go with the first thing that comes into your mind. The second you go with the first thing, that first intuition is usually correct. So we get the intuition and then the monkey mind scrambles it. We're like, no, that's not it. And then we think it away. But the first intuition is always the correct one. That's because the thought is out here. It's being magnetized. Then it hits inside your brain and you recognize it. This is how the whole system works. Yeah. So dream attachments, mirror attachments, perception attachments. Those are 3 different types. So we are doing the attachment class. That's coming up on Saturday, I believe. There are still a couple seats left. So if you guys want to come, it's the attachment masterclass. You guys can register at daniellelipton.com and then get your seat. That should be a lot of fun. So we're going to go over each and every type of attachment, how we can get the attachments, how we can get them off. We could do some clearings on the attachments if and only if there is time. We might not do any clearings on the attachments. We'll see how it goes. There's a lot of information I want to get out to you guys. And then how to clear them, how to clear yourself, seal it. We're going to generate a vortex. There's a lot of information that's going to come across. We are not, unfortunately, we are not allowed to record on any attachment material because the star people say whenever you're dealing with attachments, they're lower frequency emotion codes, and all of this lower frequency, they do not want it to get on the video. And so every person who comes to the attachment class, we recommend that they take a saltwater bath or a shower, use salt, as soon as we're done with the class, and allow the star people to do full energetic clearing on you guys. So yeah, you joined WeChat, but you need help to navigate. We'll have to go over there. I think I have you on my messenger, so we can see. Okay, what was I saying? Okay, so the attachment class this Saturday. Tomorrow I will be going live. I think it's either 4:30. So that's before the attachment class. So let me see. Okay. Yes, Saturday is 4:30. There's a live. Oh, okay. We do have, we are running a Valentine's Day sale. So the Ascension sessions, we did $100 off of them. So you guys can even pre-buy them. And so you can have them. I send you guys a link. The link does not expire. So it's good indefinitely. So it's a great time to get it at a discounted rate. I do offer attachment sessions now as well. And so the attachment session, it's extensive. It's going to take over an hour. So it's very time consuming for me too. As soon as we're done with the attachment session, both of us, because I have to do this too, saltwater baths, and we have to do meditations. The star people do the clearings. A lot of emotions come up during those sessions. And so it's like a release. Anybody who really wants to release any and all of the attachments on you, you're going to feel a lot better. It's going to be like cleaning out your energetic grids so that you are able to see the world very differently. Imagine having more energy and feeling better about things. Imagine waking up and actually being hopeful. These are the reports I'm having from people after doing the attachment clearings on them. Not only that, but I have people even this week who are telling me that they're being visited by extraterrestrials in their bedroom. So not to be scary. It's not scary. They're helping to heal you. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful experience for me to watch because I watch you guys go through this whole healing. And so it's just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so we do have a new group chat. We have Star People group. It's on Facebook. And so I opened up a Facebook Messenger group chat for Star People group. This way I'm able to send you guys messages and tell you when I'm going live and tell you when I'm running specials or whatever you guys need to know. A lot of times the people who interact with me on the Messenger, I start to get to know you guys. And so I throw out a lot of freebies. I do not always announce online. I just do it because I like to help people. This way you guys know it's still happening though. We do have a WhatsApp. So I have the WhatsApp and a way to message. All of these links are on Facebook. So you guys can go to treeoflifeorganization.com. And so over there, all of the links are up there too. So yeah, let me see. What else is there? Oh, and the Ascension package. So that was a new thing that we changed. We actually added an Ascension, it's the attachment release session into the Ascension package. That's by far the best value because the actual cost of the session it's a little over 100 for each when you break it down. So anyone who really wants to take their Ascension far and they really want to dive deep, that's the best value. And then not only that, but we'll do a full attachment clearing and everything. Yeah, excellent. Okay, so we got one more. Well, we have 2 more questions. We'll do the next 2 questions. This way we get them done. I think I have time. I do have a session, so I have to cut off soon. So reflections of the self and belief patterns. Let's go over them. Let me take a second. Okay, so I want you just to imagine we have every single person that you have an interaction with is a reflection of yourself. And so some people are at a higher frequency, some people are at a lower frequency. The law of polarity puts you in the middle of those two people. So and it's a reflection. Keep that in mind. It's only a reflection. So the people who are in your day today, in this moment, this is why we say to people, you want to have someone to look up to, because that's your potential. Even if you don't look like them, that's okay. But what are they doing? How are they acting? What are they bringing into the world? What is it that they are radiating? And so we look at that as if it gives us something to shoot for. And so it's always good to have a person like that, because it's going to drive you to the next level. It's going to help you to say, well, if that person can overcome all that nonsense that she went through, I could do it too, because we're all even. And then you're also going to have the one that no one likes to talk about, but you're going to have a reflection of, oh, that's where I came from. And so you're making those rookie moves, right? Because it's a rookie move. We made rookie moves and we had to learn from them. And now you're making them. And now I'm watching you make them. And that's okay too, because we're seeing what we can become and we're seeing where we came from. It's a mirror reflection of ourselves. How can you be a reflection of us or me? That confuses me, although I know this is my reality. Well, it is, because at one point in my life, I was you. I was sitting down listening to other people talk. I didn't think that I would ever be doing this. Are you kidding me? I thought I was a cripple. I thought it was just my job to be a mom. I was a house mom. I was homeschooling. I didn't know that I was going to have a star man, right? I had no idea. I knew I was really smart, but that's because I was a cripple. And so what can you do when you're a cripple? You have to elevate your mind. Otherwise, you have zero. In my mind, anyway, I did. So, but yeah, once upon a time, I was just like you. I didn't think I could be anything. And then all of a sudden, all of this, it fell right into my lap. And the star people, like, this was already pre-planned for you. And so when I was a child, I used to look up at the stars. I used to feel a longing for the stars. I used to feel like that was my home. I never really resonated with, why are we down here on this planet? I never really understood why things were the way that they were either. Why do we have to pay to live on a planet that we're born on? I never understood that. Why do we have starving people? Even as a child, why is everyone always upset? Right? And so why don't people come outside and barbecue and hang out and like throw a Frisbee around and just be chill? Like, why is everyone so stressed out all the time? And so these are questions I've been asking for a very, very long time. Now I understand why it's happening. And so this is a real mission. This is real. Like, we really, really came to this planet to help it. And, it's because a part of you, after you it's a hologram for so long, it's like, oh, well, it's all a hologram. But that's not the case at all. The physics acts like a hologram. We see it like a hologram. We know that mind over matter, we could change things like a hologram. But when I look at my neighbors, I see them as real people. My heart goes out to them. When I hear about the earthquakes, my heart goes out to them. I wanted to cry for those people, right? Like, I can't watch things like that. It makes me highly sensitive to it. And so, but this is real life, right? If you see someone who's hurt or in pain, it's real life. So we have to take it with a degree of physicality. This is real. And so, when I look at all of you guys, I see this is where I was. I was looking at someone because I needed inspiration, because I thought the whole world was coming down. I thought we were all, they're stopping me. Yeah, but we made it, right? And so all that stuff, depression can get on you too, from learning all the conspiracy stuff and really diving deep down that rabbit hole. It can get to you. It can weigh you down. But then it's like you take all these little baby steps to release all of that. And it's not so scary, because now all of a sudden we know human beings, we can eat toxic foods. We've been doing it for how long? We were raised on McDonald's, right? And so we can eat it and it won't kill us. I'm still alive. Now I eat salad. So now I feel healthier. But when I was a kid eating McDonald's, I felt healthy. I had no idea. Our belief systems determine what we see in the physical world. And so just imagine the potential behind this, because when each and every one of us wakes up to the real potential that we're holding, and everyone's like, well, this is what I want to manifest. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to manifest magic. Everyone gets magical abilities in my world. And then you set your focus on it. And then all of a sudden you unpack all the science, and then extraterrestrials show up, and the extraterrestrials like, here, you need more science that proves magic is real. Here we have it, right? This rabbit hole, and then spread it to all these people because you want to wake up the entire planet, right? So it's wild what we can manifest when we put our minds to it. My mind is always on magical abilities. From the moment I wake up in the morning, I'm like, can I move it? Can I do something? Can I make the fire bigger? Can I make it turn off? Right? What can we do? I want to do it. Like, okay, I change the weather. I do that all the time. What's next? And so, but we have to also realize, because the star people also say the earth frequency pulls us down a little bit. So we can go higher and higher. We can start to activate these different experiences, but the earth frequency kind of grounds us. So it's kind of important to know this too. Yeah, Melina, it definitely happens, right? When we're like, let's say you're trying to bend a spoon. If you have somebody in the room that doesn't believe that you could bend the spoon, it makes it a tiny bit harder for that spoon to bend. There's resistance. And so right at 444, so there's resistance because of other people's belief systems. So this is how powerful it is. And this is the reason why we have to choose very wisely who we share our time with. And so if I'm hanging out with people who are physically focused, I know that there's going to be resistance from me changing the weather. It depends on how strong your connection to the source frequency is. Sometimes you will be able to change the weather. It depends, right? So I've done it where physically focused people didn't believe that we can do it, but I took my children's hands and they believed with me. And so I have one boy, one girl. So you needed one boy and two girls, or two boys and one girl. You have to have the opposite sex. It does something with the polarity and the masculine and the energetics. And then you cast on a power of 3. The power of 3 is real. And so and this is the same as the meditation technique. And so when you start to take groups of people in meditation, you're actually coaxing the source frequency down, and it washes over the entire land. So you can do this, and we see crime reduce. We see traffic accidents reduce the second you have 3 or more people in meditation. It's very, very powerful. One person can make a big shift. Now, the more and more that you guys start focusing on your energetic field and projecting it far and wide, we have a lot of grid workers or vortex workers too, who are listening to this right now. You guys can pull down the magnetic energy. Some of you guys can push it up. So some of you guys are working with the chi, some are working with the magnet. So one is electrical, one is magnetic. It's okay. Now, when we start to do work like this and interact with the Earth's energy field, you can raise location frequencies. And so I've seen that too, where I've done, and it was a 5-second manifestation. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, universe. I said, Lord, thank you, Lord, for raising the frequency of this location, making it clean and happy and healthy. We love and bless you, Mother Earth. And then the light turned green and I was out. In the next 2 or 3 days, a homeless man showed up. He put a sign up, I'm keeping the area clean. Thanks for helping. And then all of a sudden he started picking up all the trash. I could not believe my eyes. You just can't believe it. It's like a miracle, right? And so the more and more you start to see these things, the more it proves to you. However, it's my watch. We still are on the ascension path. However, there's hiccups. There's solar energetics. The earth frequency pulls us back down if we go too far. Maintaining it's your masculine and feminine energetics, which is your chi and your magnetism, the left and the right. We have to maintain these too. So a lot of times we can sense if one is off in a person. So that's really, really important to do as well. So if you can start to place focus on keeping those 2 things balanced, that balances the way the chi energetic flows, or they're correcting me. They're saying it's the Kundalini energetic flows up the physical form and radiates out the top. So we can actually pull this energy up and radiate it out the top of our heads. And we're supposed to be connected throughout the entire day. I have a hard time doing that sometimes, but I can consciously link in. I can feel the energy pull up. I can feel it radiating out the top. Your heart chakra blasts wide open, right? And then you can hold it. So you have to consciously think about it until it becomes a habit almost. So the more you consciously connect in, because this is connecting to the source, the more and more you start to do that, you'll feel it out the top of your head. This is when you start to pull the ether in through the top of your head. Now, once upon a time, human beings, we didn't have to eat. We pulled the ether through the top of our head. This is the reason why the baby's soft spot is there too, is because they're still pulling a lot of the energy through that spot. And then it gets hard and the bone, it heals. The extraterrestrial skulls are totally different than ours. So this has a lot to do with pulling ether in. I personally have had different meditations in which I went down for like 5-10 minutes, and all of a sudden I felt like I had gotten the most amount of energy that I had ever received from a meditation. So we can directly pull the ether into our body by doing this type of work. It's possible. I've done it. I proved it to myself. So you guys can do it too. You just have to know about it. This now I'm telling you. So now you're aware of it. So now try and play with it. Try and coax the magnetic or the source frequency. Try and coax that down into your body. Yeah. What is I'm doing with the magnet thing and the brown cord you told me to do again? I have been doing it occasionally. With a brown cord? My memory is really funny. So like, I don't really know. It's every day is like a new day. I remember a little though, but the magnetic thing, your magnetism, you pull down the source frequency, which is magnetic in its nature. Think about it this way. Your higher self is magnetic. And so when you're pulling that down, you can feel it. Like this is legitimate. You can feel it in your body. You pull it down and then it flowers open in the heart chakra. And so the more and more that you start to flower open the heart chakra, that's a higher level of just coaxing it down and connecting, right? So it's like the same thing, but it's the next step is flowering open the heart chakra. And so you can coax down the source frequency right now. You want to try and hold it. You got to be really happy. You have to be loving, caring, kind. Your heart is electric and magnetic. It's both. Both systems flow through. So when you're really happy, and it increases your chi energetics too. So the Chinese people know this as shening. So think about it this way. The magnetism is your emotion grids. Your electrical system is your chi energetic systems. And so we have to hold different emotions like love, and then we project or cast that love at different items. When you cast it, you're casting light ions, which is a form of electrical or chi energetic. This is how Reiki healing works as well. You have to love the person that you are sending the energy to. That's the easier way of putting it. This is what we do to the tree. I have a tree in my room, and that's what I do. And then the tree grew 10 times its size because the leaves started, it was like this big, and now the leaves are about that big. It was this big. Wait, about that big. And now the leaves are like that. So it's just wild. And so when we learn how to do this, we learn to coax down that magnetism. We learn to flower open. Now, that's only one step is flowering open the heart chakra. So you can actually flower open the pineal gland. Now, for the pineal gland, there's a lot of people on the planet who speak about utilizing the breath. The truth of the matter is we can utilize all of the elements. So earth starts on the left. Air is in the front. Fire, which is your chi, is in the right. And then water is in the spinal cord. It's in the back. So earth, air, fire, water. There's 4 Kundalini channels that associate to those 4 elements. When we start to do things like breathing in the air, but you can see it as ether if you want, right? You're breathing in light, releasing it. When you start to see yourself as I am grounding to the earth, imagine breathing in the dirt. Don't actually do it. Just imagine the connection between you and the earth coming inside of you. Then earth, air, fire. Imagine being in tune with the fire and taking it in. It's just imagine the element. Do not actually try and breathe the fire, right? And then just imagine the water rising up. There's actually 2 more Kundalini channels in the direct center of the body. One is a dark matter. Nobody ever talks about that one. And so the dark matter and then the light one. The light one surrounds the darkness. And so all light is born in darkness, all of it. So whenever we're trying to birth a new planet, the new planet will always form from darkness. So this is darkness is there. And then, yeah, I sent a baby lizard. I found it in my house who was struggling. Okay. He's saying the light one is in the inside and the darkness is around it. He's saying yes. Okay, so he's actually correcting that one. So the light is surrounding the darkness. Did I mix it up again? The darkness is surrounding the light? No, the light is surrounding the darkness. Okay. So Starman is correcting. Okay, I sent a baby lizard found in my house who was struggling to stay alive. Love and healing energy. He's doing better today and was able to move him outside. Yeah, so I would have bought a tank. Put him in a tank. Some lady caught a squirrel. right? And so now her and the squirrel are best buddies. It's amazing. So you never know. But some lady also, I TikTok, right? TikTok sends me all the animal videos. It's just, if you guys see my TikTok, you're like, it's so cute and sweet, right? And so one lady, she found a bee, and the bee had its, like, I guess, I don't know if it was both wings got accidentally removed, but the bee was gonna die. And so she picked up, it was like a bumblebee. And then all of a sudden this bee loved her. And so she had a little net, she put it over, she put fresh water and salt, honey, whatever. Yeah, so the relationships between humans and the animals is absolutely amazing. The second that a human sends love to one of the animals, it changes the animal collective consciousness grid, and it changes the way the animals' hearts resonate with the humans. And so a lot of times, and you shouldn't try this at home. I won't, but I know what the star people say, and the star people say if you're ever confronted by an animal, drop into your heart and open up your heart and have love. Because the animal will sense that you're not scared. The animal will sense the love because they know when someone loves them, then it makes them drop their guard and then they feel safe. That's how powerful our heart is, right? We are connected to that animal. We are one with that animal. So, but once again, if you see a lion, a tiger, a bear, oh my, you guys have to do what your intuition tells you to do to save your life in the moment, right? You could try it from like a zoo, like a petting zoo, drop into the heart, see how the animal responds. So you're safe. Right? So it's just amazing. Okay. The last question, the memory complex and using it to activate emotion codes. And so this one is very, very important. This is perfect timing because we got 5 minutes left. Okay. So think about this way. We want to try and trigger emotion codes because the emotion codes changes our magnetism. Your hair, all of the hair on your face, it's like an antenna for that magnetism. So think about it this way. Your hair actually has water in it, which is another reason why the star people want me to stop flat ironing the hair because it pushes all the water out of the hair. And so your hair has water. You're speaking right next to your hair. So if you're casting love and light, your hair's magnetic, gets encoded with love and light. If you're yelling and screaming, and just think about people who are in highly stressful environments around toxicity, their hair usually goes dull, right? Because that's their antenna and it's holding the emotions. And many times, yeah, it is what it is. It's not good. So many times when someone goes through that trauma, they may cut the hair short to remove the magnetic field that hair is holding on to. And so it's just wild. So they taught me to salt water. And so if you could take a little salt or even salt water products, right? So any type of shampoo with sea salt and it will cleanse and purify the hair. There is a reason why certain cultures refuse to cut the hair because the longer your hair, the more your magnetism was. That's where your power came from. Now, what does that even mean? And so what the star people say is they're saying that magnetism, imagine for 1 second that person was holding all love emotions. And so the more hair that they have, the more that antenna is going to radiate out into the holographic simulation. And it's going to then allow them to make easier timeline switches. So they can shift into a higher density level just by commanding it because their hair is longer. That's what the star people say. Now, we've all heard rumors and stories of ancient people and the hair. Yeah, I didn't know anyone's name, and he was powerful in the Bible until someone cut his hair. That's because he lost his antenna. That does not mean that, and not only that, but you look at a child's hair, the child's hair is always like beautiful and perfect until it gets cut. It's like a totally different hair. Maybe something about cutting the actual ends of the hair, right? And having that like leak something out of the actual hair that we're just unaware of scientifically. So, yeah. Oh, it's like we're all listening to your thoughts. That's because we start to tune together. And so think about it this way. We're magnetically co-creating this experience. So even you guys, Instagram. So yeah, it's just, that's my mom. She knows the guy's name. Hi, Mom. Okay, so we can actually tune into the memory complex and use it to activate emotion codes. And so when we do this, now just close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and I want you to do it on a positive light. And so what does this mean? What makes you happy and joyful? Pull upon a memory that brings you love and bliss inside of your heart. And so whatever that memory it is, maybe it's your child being born, maybe it's when you got engaged, it doesn't matter what the memory is. How did it make you feel? And so everyone loves my mom. Yeah, how did that emotion make you guys feel? If it brought you warmth in your heart and you felt your energy change and shift, and now all of a sudden you felt more love in your life, then keep pulling at that memory. And so the more and more, anytime you're having a hard time, just pull at the happy thoughts. And so we've Peter Pan too, right? Happy thoughts can make you fly because it raises your frequency, and then you can instantaneously manifest things like this. So it's real. So when you start the process, then start activating different memories, pull them forward, activate the emotion code. How did it make you feel? Whenever you have something happening in your body, so a lot of people may have been having blockages in like the lungs or like the kidneys or different areas in the body. How does that body organ feel? So the memory complex also works like this, as star people are saying. They're saying you can tune into a different organ, and then you can call up the memory that's interfering in that organ's frequency. And so let's take the heart for an example. And so when your heart, let's say you feel pressure inside your heart, or you feel like you have a hole in your heart. Hole in your heart is actually the name of an attachment. There's a hole. I gotta write that one down. Hole in the heart. That's for the attachment class. We got to know the names. So when we feel like we have anything happening in the heart, close your eyes and ask the higher self to give you a memory of whatever emotion or whatever trauma that imprinted your heart. And so the higher self will flash a memory at you guys. And then when you take that memory, you call the younger version of yourself. So who you were in the past that is walking through that trauma, through that memory, allow the star people to put that person on a heart-to-heart hug with you. And so wrap your arms around him or her, give that person a gentle hug. I want you to tell them how many times I love you, you are blessed, you are protected, everything is going to be all right. Imagine you're speaking to your younger childhood self. And so tell yourself whatever you need to tell that child to get that child to heal that emotion code. And then when that inner child self, when it wants to take you and like go dancing, or it's really happy, or it smiles at you, or it wipes its tears, it's like, I'm better now, then you know that that emotion code from the heart is now healed. You could do this for every single organ. So if anyone is having an imbalance or something showed up funky with the doctor told you something is going on, go into each organ, call upon the memory. And then all of a sudden you could start to heal the emotions from that memory. This is how powerful we are. If you cannot figure out the memory, or you can't do it, you just know that maybe it's your heart, take a magnet. These are super magnets. My father gave them to me, and they're super magnets. Like, it can fly across the room. That's how strong it is. But you can take magnets, you can put it up to your heart, and it will start to pull the emotion, because your emotions are magnetic. And so you can use this all over your body. This is how magnetism therapy works. The Chinese people know this. So acupuncture, what acupuncture does is they're taking like stainless steel or a type of metal, and they're tuning into your meridians. And so they'll put the acupuncture things right on these different vortex or chakra ley line points. And then all of a sudden it's pulling in energy because of the metal inside of it. And then it's bringing more ether into that area, which generates a healing. So a lot of times you may have childhood memories that get stored in the ear. And so when they go through and they put a bunch of acupuncture in the ear, it could really relieve all the, some people even cry because they're releasing during that. That's how powerful this is. So you guys don't have to go to acupuncture, but you can take a magnet. You can wash it all over your entire body. Anyone who has any wrinkles on your face, watch for the wrinkles, because the wrinkles is always from emotions. And so if, let's say if you have the anger marks, right? You could take your magnet, you could put it here, you drop it to a meditation for 10 or 15 minutes, let it sit there, because it's pulling out all of that anger emotion that's stored inside you at a cellular level. So these are just some, quick tips and tricks. If you use the magnet, will you remember the memory? You can. Normally we call it up. And so what we do is I ask the star people to help, because the Arcturians, the star people, they are always ready, willing, and able to help each and every one of us. They know who you guys are. They know who all of you are. There's a rep inside your room listening to you right now, with you right now. So you guys can actually make contact and communication with them right now. Not only that, but each and every one of you guys, you have your own star family. Each and every one of us is from different groups, different organizations. The Star People is one big group of people who just want to activate our energetics and allow us to evolve into more love and light beings, which then in turn raises our biological frequency, which actually shifts the world into a positive polarity. We already won. The game is already won. That's what the Star People say. They have time travel technology so they can see. They could see into the future. They saved my life when I was on a motorcycle when I was a kid. So that proved to me they can see before I got hurt. They see what's going to happen. And they were trying to warn me the entire day. I was not listening to them. They had to actually blast me with the telepathic vision to get my attention. So they have time travel technology. They can see potentials. So the potentials is like, just imagine for 1 second, if we go left, we are going to have a range of things that can potentially manifest from going left. But if we go right, there's a range of things that can manifest because we chose right. So they can see all the potentials. They see which one is the strongest. And then that's the one that has the highest probability of happening. That's how they're able to look into the future. Yeah. So it's just absolutely wonderful. So pulling upon the memory complex, use it to activate emotion codes. Anytime you guys get angry or upset, do that and drop into your heart and just allow love to wash over your entire physical form. You can even call upon the Star People to help adjust your biological frequency in times of anxiety. And so they are willing to send, a rep to your side to help you, to get you through it. And so they always want to tell people to just take a deep breath. Anytime you are high anxiety or you're feeling a pressure in your chest or your heart, just take a deep breath in. Everything is going to be okay. So we just want to go over. Let me just see. We do have, tomorrow is the attachment masterclass. There's a bunch of people already in the class. You can still get a seat at daniellipton.com. I do offer attachment sessions where we dive in. That one, it takes over an hour. And so I've had a lot of people sign up already, and it's intensive. It's very intensive. We don't stop. I go through all the attachments, and then the Star People guide me when to stop, when you guys have had enough. But you're releasing all sorts of these attachments, all these emotions, the traumas, all the stuff comes out. And then it really makes your energetics very clean. And so if you've ever felt like you wanted to heal yourself, this is the session for you. My Ascension sessions, we're running a Valentine's Day special. So we knocked $100 off. Anyone who wants to stock up, you guys can order as many of those as you want. The links do not ever cancel. They are good forever. Tomorrow, we will be going live at 4:30. There's a new group chat. And so we're doing Star People group is on Facebook. And so we opened up a group chat for that. This way I can tell you guys when I'm going live. And so you can get the notification. And so we've also opened up a WhatsApp app messaging chat. So that too, all the information is right on my Facebook. So you guys can find it. And so you guys just have many, many love and blessings. Thank you so incredibly much for joining us today. And have a wonderful evening. Happy Friday. Stay sober, people. Okay. Love you, Mom. Thank you for watching.